These change agents give the government the policy and they then enact it. Demos being a classic. The Tavistock Institute. Very nasty organisation in my opinion, but it helped create the National Health Service and social services. So we should be happy, apart from the people who know that children and adults are having body parts stolen from them. And if you don't believe that's going on, I can tell you that there are some people in the audience who will tell you how they never got the body of their 12-year-old daughter back because too much of it was missing. And they have never achieved justice because everywhere they've gone it's been covered up by politicians, by senior policemen, by coroners, by members of the Welsh Assembly, I think. So these people need watching very closely. Now this is the opposite page. So down here we'd have the change agents, and they inject policy into this. And I've called it the third sector. And I'm going to take that apart in a minute, but I want you to see the page. So that's page 7. Right. We're at the bottom of the heap. We are at the bottom of the dung pile. And this is how we think it works. We've got nice people called parish councillors. They try and do their best for our community. They're unpaid, but the government keeps heaping more and more regulations on them. Any parish councillors in the room? Do you know what I'm talking about? Declare your assets and interests. Here is some recommendations as to how you should run your community. We've got county and district councillors. Any of those? Pardon? Do we have any district or county councillors? Is that a no? That's none. I can't see any. My goodness, so you know how locally you're represented. Where are they? MPs, any MPs? Well, Parliament, we've heard all about that. House of Lords, what a lovely organisation that is. We've got Peter Mandelson. He'll be preening himself in there. And we should have somebody else somewhere. We got the Queen. Now, we don't know about the Queen. Can I be a little bit of a smart-ass and say I met the Queen? And she doesn't look like you. Right, so we don't know about the Queen, but we just get the impression that, this side has all been pushed away. It's not working properly. These people are not serving us. They've been pushed to one side. And this is what's been put in its place. Here's all the change agents. Okay, I'm not going to read them all. You can do that for yourself. And what they do is inject policy into this new area of society, which is called the third sector, sometimes called the third way. Have you heard the politicians talking about it? They've all dropped it in, so's the Americans, so's Obama. So this is the new sector, the new powerhouse of the new society, the new post-democratic society, the third sector. And what's in it in UK? Over 1,300 government departments. Check it for yourself. Employing over 500,000 people. What do they do? How did we manage to run the country in the 1940s or 50s? These people have been created, usually on good salaries, to control every aspect of our life. Whether we can drop litter, how we teach our children, what we can say to people, how we behave, what forms we fill in, how much rubbish is in the dustbin. You feel it, it's oppressive. And these are the people creating it. And they're helped, because most of you think charities are nice things run by nice old ladies who collect money and then they help people. Well, that was true, and for some charities it's still true, but really what's happening is that they have created a vast army of political charities. And in this country, there are over 170,000 charities consuming billions of pounds, but you don't know about them or what they do. You need to find out. So when somebody comes around collecting, you want to know who's really funding them, because a lot of the charities are funded by government. Here's the influence. It comes into the third sector. The third sector help push it into Parliament. And once it's there, all the poo drops on us. So we are spending time trying to convince these people, but the monster is growing through the country, through the third sector. And that's why it seems to you, no matter what you do, this thing advances. You can feel it. It's like a big octopus. And what we've got to do is get in amongst this lot and break it up. And I'm delighted to say it's started to happen. Right, got to go quickly because I'm watching Roger. He can be very tough sometimes. The Fabians. Anybody a member of the Fabian Society? Thank you for putting your hand up. That's very good. The Fabians, to most people, are a debating society, and they do debate all sorts of things, but behind the facade is a very nasty organisation. Its emblem is a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's got another one which is of men hammering the world into a different shape, and their effective technique is that they're going to change us, but they're going to do it so slowly we won't know it's happening. So if I could jump back to Tony Blair, who you know and love, we'd be interested that he was a chairman of the Fabian Society. So don't think that the Fabians are some innocent little party in this. They're very serious. Here's Demos. And Demos here is putting policy. It says that absolute power doesn't corrupt. According to Demos, it's we don't have power causes the problem. So they're turning what we know to be truth on its head. And this is common purpose. How many of you now know something about it? Okay, I got it right because I didn't want to talk too much detail. I wanted to show you something different. Common purpose is a change agent. It's a political cult. It recruits people, trains them to recruit other people, and they go on and train others. But what it is doing very cleverly is changing and reframing their views. And I can talk to you about people saying strange things. I can talk about people becoming mentally unwell. I can talk about all sorts of things. 30-odd thousand common purpose people now in the middle of that third sector. Here she is. This is my favourite lady, Julia Middleton, the chief executive. And she was giving a talk, and I don't know whether you noticed the eyes, but there's something special. Who is she? She's now advising National Health Service on running hospitals. She's advising the military. She's advising schools. She's advising MPs. She's advising the government. She's everywhere. But who is she? Well, she's married to a man who's involved with the Trinity Mirror Group. She was involved with Demos, a Marxist organisation, and she is creating the new leaders. I think something is very dangerous here because she talks about us empowering ourselves, except when we ask what public money is being spent on this. And then she says we're right-wing extremists. So she can do it, but if I ask why, we're the problem makers. They have been collecting names of people inquiring about them over the last year and putting them on a spreadsheet. We know this because we have a copy of the spreadsheet. And I can tell you that at the moment there is a battle going on because Common Purpose has coerced members of the public sector and a police force and somebody within the prison service to release names and addresses and telephone numbers of people inquiring about Common Purpose. They have coerced civil servants into breaking the Data Protection Act. And now they're lying about it, and I have the letter that proves they're lying. This organisation and this lady are very dangerous.